Okay, welcome back. If you've just joined in, this is Enterprise Friday, and we're heading into our main conversation. Now, it is often said that a nation is not governed, but is perpetually to be conquered. Those are the words of Edmund Burke, the Anglo-Irish philosopher, and there is a plausible argument that they define the situation of Nigeria.
Yes, and be to address prominent issues in the nation. The National Christian Elders Forum, led by prominent figures such as Dr. Samuel Gani, General Zamani Lekwet, retired, and Elder Shingo Wigwe, has called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration to adopt the 2014 National Conference report.
The demand was part of recommendations put forth by the forum during a State of the Nation press conference in Abuja on Thursday. Their aim was to weigh in on the current state of security in the country, seek for the resolution of land disputes, and protect indigenous ethnic groups, while urging the implementation of the 2014 National Confab Draft Constitution. NCEF argued that it was the best pathway for transforming Nigeria's governance to achieve stability and lasting peace. Speaking at the press briefing, the chairman of the forum, Dr. Samuel Gani, highlighted the relentless assault by religious insurgents in the north and the displacements caused by foreign invaders across Nigeria. Our guests for the segment are Mr. Cyril Abaku, a public affairs analyst, and Dr. Olaika Oyegbile, a journalist. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you, gentlemen, for being part of our show today.
All right. So
Yes.
I'll just, start by saying the structural incongruence in Nigeria is part of, or have been fingered as a chief reason why we keep having the tremors and issues that we experience as a country. Now we have seen that this group is calling on the president, on the APC-led government, to adopt the 2014 Confab. But before then, this is like the 10th time that we've had, people come together, converge, and look at the issues and then proffer solution to for the common good of Nigeria. I remember that under President Tinubu, there was also a Confab, although at the time it wasn't called the Confab, it was chaired by the then governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai. But not much was seen in terms of implementation. From the body language of the current president, do you see him adhering to those goals? I'll begin with you, Dr. Oyinbo.
In all honesty, if anybody would like to face the honest truth, I don't see this present government implementing or going back to 2014 national convent. No matter how earth-shaking or important the recommendations are. You remember that when former President Goodluck Jonathan muted the idea of the Confab, APC was one of the parties that kicked against it.
Right.
Although before then they have been talking about it, but when the idea came from Goodluck Jonathan, they kicked against it. If you check, they didn't send a representative. The whole of the Southwest kicked against it. Bola Tinubu was the arrowhead of the Southwest then. And if you check the list of delegates that were nominated from the Southwest, these are people who today are either in political oblivion or are not in good terms with the present leadership of the country. Senator Kofo Akerele, she was Tinubu's deputy governor who was impeached. Supo Sonibare was Attorney General under Fasola, who also wanted to be governor when the powers that be wanted Ambody. So you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Saolani Wajayi and the president have never seen eye to eye. Dr. Adetokunbo Awolowo Dosumu, well, because of the respect the Southwest has for the Awolowo family, so it's a case of cat and mouse kind of thing. Chief Ajibola Ogunshola, former chairman of Punch, is not a partisan person, so his own case is different. Barrister Niyi Akitola used to be, I think he at one time contested to be, is it ACN or AC, governorship candidate in Oyo State. The late Inka Odumakin, we all know his stand with Tinubu. The names are many, but let me just Senator Adefuye, well, he's still with them, of course. Femi Aderomu, Okuromu, you know, they don't see eye to eye with the present president. So the names are okay. Tunde Bakare was also there. Gani Adams was there. Amos Akingba. So out of all these, who are the people that are in contention in political formation of today, political equation of today? No. So because the president or the APC then kicked against the conference, the only person perhaps that one would have thought would take a look at, would have taken a look at the conference resolution would perhaps have been Buhari.
Okay.
But Buhari, knowing the temper of the then national leader of the party, who is now the president, knows that he was totally against it. So, I mean, to let the line, sleeping dog lie, he just allowed it. And even the one that you spoke about, the APC itself under Buhari had what it, I can't remember what they call it now, but they had a committee which was chaired by a former Kaduna State governor, who also recommended almost the same thing, or clearly almost the same thing with what the National Conference recommended.
Right.
But they never implemented it. So, as far as I'm concerned, the Christian leadership and whoever, whatever, even Northern Leaders Forum and everybody calling on the present government to implement that Confab report. It's like asking a man the leopard to change his spots.
Which is not possible. All right, Mr. Abaku, one of the clarion call from the National Christian Elders Forum is for a new constitution. You will agree with me that the constitution has been changed or amended 5 times now. And then the question is, what do you think is the problem? Why has the National Assembly found it very difficult to get a new constitution for Nigeria that works perfectly for Nigerians?
Well, that's a good question. First of all, let me say that I support the call for a new constitution.
Okay.
Although I also understand the argument of those who say that our problem is not only about a new constitution,
Okay.
but also about the need for a new attitude.
Okay.
The two must go together.
Mhm.
And I think that it will require a new attitude to see the need for a new constitution. Now, today, we find ourselves in a place where the constitution that we need as a country must be one that takes into account the nature, the geography, the culture, the psychology, the sociology, the history, the organic, natural arrangement of the peoples of Nigeria into account. The current document does not do that.
Okay.
The only time Nigeria has only had about 3 constitutions that were organically sourced. One was the one with which we gained independence. I would just like to think that right into 1963, it was our people who came together. They wanted the document, all right? 79, 78 or so, before Muritala was killed, was assassinated. You know, Chief Rotimi Williams had been invited to form a committee, about 50 people, right?
Yeah.
Only Awolowo said he was not going to be done, so there were 49 eventually. Bishop Akinjide, I think, was there. The late Bernard Mason was there. A lot of big names were there. There's what you call a constituent assembly that comes to sit to frame a new constitution. It is from that good. Even members of that committee are usually elected.
Okay.
Now, after the 79 constitution, the military came in up until 1990. Under Abacha, people came together also to form, to write a constitution. The Saraki's father and all who came together. That was where the principle of geopolitical zones came into the picture. Like people suggested it, and it was carried. Now, you can find it that in our attitude, we think geopolitically to an extent.
Yeah, true.
Even if it is not in the law. Why is it so? It means that it is what we think and what we feel and what we know to be right and wrong that we should make into a new constitution.
Okay.
Now, is everything that we think to be right about our country in the law? It is not there. This is the need for a new constitution. But in 1999, what Abdul Abubakar did was to form what they call Constitution Debating Committee. Malam Erufai was there. I think Justice Nikitobi was the chairman.
Yes.
Maybe 9 or 10 of them, I don't even know, came together. What they basically did was to go to 1979, change to some dates and some, just retracted it, changed the paragraphs, and brought it back into and said that was why what we call the 1999 Constitution is actually Decree 34 of 1998 or 99.
That's amended.
Decree, you can't amend the decree now. The 1999 Constitution is a decree. It's a military decree. We as civilians should be ashamed of that. We should come to tell ourselves that the military cannot promulgate a decree into law and that law becomes a constitution. It is not viable. The National Assembly is there to sit down and say, what are the current prevailing realities? Because every law that is written takes into account the issues prevailing at any given time. When you have to keep amending, something is fundamentally wrong. In America, how many times have they been amended the Constitution? I don't think it's up to 30 times since 1776. But between 1999 and 2004, you said how many times have amended about 5 times.
Yes.
It means if we carry on like this in a century, we would have. Why don't we sit down and say something is fundamentally wrong with it? Now, this is where I make my case. The error of the 79 Constitution and of the 99 Constitution, which the 2004 report was trying to amend, is the fact that a Yoruba and an Ijaw and an Igbo and a Hausa can live together.
Yes.
But don't dictate the terms to them. It is not going to work. Don't force all of us to come to Abuja. It will not work. Because what will happen is that the person that first gets Abuja will take everything for himself. And then that becomes a war of the tribes. That way, how do you not command allegiance to the state? It's not that. But what you should do is to say, for as much as possible, you don't need to come to Abuja. You will have enough to farm, to feed, to mine, to drill, to eat, to drink where you are. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where I come from in the country, now there's even a law, Supreme Court may say that the shoreline, whatever, the water the federal government, I don't think it's even proper. Let me explain this to you. Where I come from is a fishing village or a fishing town. Somebody who comes from an upland part cannot understand fishing better than I do.
True.
The same thing applies vis-a-vis every other thing that is beneath my earth. Okay? In Rivers where I come from, my town does not make garri. We depend on garri from Ogoni land and from Ikwere land. And they are nice. We don't have any issues with them. They buy our fish, we give them garri. The technology of planting cassava, tilling the soil, I don't need to know it. It is our own unique advantage.
Yeah.
So why is the federal government the owner of the oil in my backyard? Can anybody answer that question?
Okay,
Why is the federal government the owner of the oil in my backyard and telling me that if... So these are the things that we must address.
Yes. So yes, sir. So you can,
the whole issue of constitutional amendment and all that is just a circus show.
It is.
And you find out that every assembly comes and says it's amending the constitution. They set up a committee made up of members. They get extra money for it, for sitting to amend the constitution, not apart from whatever they get. So it's a circus show. They will continue to tell you they want to amend the constitution. They will amend or whatever. They will pass it when they get to the house. Either they pass it, another assembly will come,
Do the same thing
for
higher money.
And so that's why I'm saying that it's just a circus show. There is no way you will amend this constitution. It's already broken. So the best thing to do is to call the people, not National Assembly members. Let Nigerians be asked. Let's have a referendum or a vote or whatever to choose people to go and sit down and amend this constitution, not National Assembly members who are interested members.
All right, so, Cyril, quickly speak to the issue of restructuring. Even though in the Confab report, we didn't have restructuring, but we had like an array of solutions, so to speak. But we had restructuring in the APC's Confab.
Sure, we did.
Now, whether restructuring or repositioning, I remember President Buhari said people asking for restructuring, they don't know what they're asking for, even though it was in their own Confab, so to speak. If you have to restructure, which is similar like the Holy Grail, how best do we restructure? Yes.
Well, restructuring for me, again, so because I want to speak in a way that doesn't look like I'm speaking for what will be of an advantage to me and where I come from in Nigeria, right? We need to have some basic minimum definitions of what it is, basic minimum components of what it should be. We've been there before in the first one, we were there in 63. I think that what we need to do is to seek out a model that makes us happy as Nigerians, rather than happy as Yoruba nation, Igbo nation, Hausa nation. And the best way to do it is this. I'm from River State. I don't speak Hausa. I don't know what they do in Kebbi. I don't know anything about Kebbi State. I don't know their culture. I don't know how their women dress. I don't know. And maybe I don't even need to be there. Okay? But I understand that it is better for us to have a large country that won't be easily attacked and defeated.
Right.
Because if I want to do me and my village alone, somebody can come and attack us, conquer us, and take us away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's advantage in that size, and what. So what we now do? We must make sure that people who are Nigerians feel secure being Nigerians. My culture should not be under threat. The resources in my bag should not be under threat. My children and the future of the children should not be under threat. Whatever God has blessed me with, I should be able to have ownership of it and pay taxes for maintenance to the center to take care of my defense, take care of all kinds of things that I know that on my own I won't be able to take care of. All right? If we can agree on such basic minimum standards, we can be proud Nigerians. But once my Nigerianness will put threat to my own very existence today, then I don't think we want that. So what we need to do, one, we must address the national question.
Which is, are Nigerians indigenous of where they are or citizens of the whole country? These are deep questions. Number two, the principle for revenue
Sharing.
for revenue sharing. Should it be derivation or any other means? It should be derivation as far as I'm concerned. Derivation meaning that you give if you do cocoa, do timber, do sugar, do rubber.
You pay tax to the federal.
Give the so we make $5,000 from rubber, $10,000 from crude oil, okay? Don't carry the crude oil or price and give to everybody equally. No, don't do that. Give more. The crude oil money, right? So you make $10,000. If you are pay more, pay like 10% of that to the people who brought the crude. They can give 2% of that same crude to other people too. So if you go to the place where they did timber and rubber, whatever it is, give them 10% too. They can give 4%, so that there's a sense in which waiting they can get. So that way there's a sense of we are all together as a country, because in the end, what happens to one happens to all. So we should build the state by building the federal. The Confab people said a lot of good things. A mayor for Abuja, increase states to 54 states, and so on. I wonder why the president will come and say this for the archives. Are we better off today?
No.
We are not. The report I think also said somewhere that this whole herdsmen crisis, whatever. Look, do you know that I said it on radio in 2014? I said all these herdsmen taking a cattle around the southwest and this, and in fact, the whole of southern Nigeria, they should go back to the north. I said it. And the lady in the moderator of the debate was saying, no, I was being extremist. When Governor Ganduje gave them land in Kano, they refused to go to the forest.
Yeah.
So what are they then looking for? My oil is taken to Abuja. You want to come and take my grass and my farmland again? So it means that some Nigerians are now more Nigerians than others. I ask again, are we indigenous or citizens? What really ought to be is that we are all citizens of Nigeria. I can go to Kenya and live there, and I won't be a threat to those who are in that place.
Right.
So other people coming to my place should not be a threat to me.
Thank you.
But when we fail to put all this in the same pot, it becomes a problem for us.
All right, so before we close home, I think it's very important because there's a very great thing we actually not talking about. As marvelous, as interesting as all what we've said here, I think it's still very important we look back into memory lane, the history, and just like you did say, that we should have a change in attitude before a change in constitution. Now, between 1967 and 1970, Nigerian Civil War broke out. And of course, we all know the clarion call for secession, from the Nigeria. So the question here, don't you think that could be the reason why those in the top echelon of the political class are not giving in on the clarion call for structure, for a change and a devolution of power?
Is that to me?
Yes, any of you can take a go at it. Yes, please, sir. Just
okay. I think what is paramount here is that personal selfishness is what is driving everyone in office. Before the advent of the current president, he has always been talking about devolution of power, restructuring, or whatever. Some people are afraid of calling it restructuring. But since he got to power, it has been quiet on the western side. Nothing. He's not saying anything about it again. So, what is the matter? Why is it that when people are outside the corridors of power, they preach some ideas? When they get there, they forget about it because of the comfort of office or the parts of office. So, I think whether it is restructuring, devolution of powers or whatever, Nigeria cannot continue the way it is going. Something has to give, and our leadership has to change.
Yes. So, your final thought, Mr. Abaku, before we...
So for me, I think that leadership should do what is right. Wake up to this matter. You see, these people we've gone from government to government and they've not done the needful. I can assure you that history will not be kind to them when the chips are down.
All right. Thank you so much, Cyril Abaku, for coming on the program, and Dr. Olayinka Oyegule. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Right, thank you, Henry. All right, that's the size of our package this morning. Thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. Thank you for watching. I'm Chinyere Igwe.
I am Henry Igwe. Bye-bye from us.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.